Hey, so fam, Amelia Adair here. I hope you're feeling well, doing well. I'm feeling well, and we're gonna get into another special in the kitchen. All right, so fam, so these are a couple things we're gonna start with. All right, I don't have a full name for this dish yet, but these are just some things that I'll be whipping up, and it becomes some of my faves, and I'm just gonna share it with you because it's so nourishing, fulfilling, and delicious. Hello. So yes, we're gonna start off with these items. Now you can choose your own type of items. I like to use, like, the 100% grass-fed beef is, better for the protein and less grease. We're already going to be eating croissants. I love these croissant layers because they just have the flavor. They already cut. It just cut to the chase. Grandma, we appreciate you and those recipes you made. But over here, we're going to just pop these in. And these are some of the seasonings that I like to use. Nothing, in particular. It's just I like these brands. They just seem more fresh to me and really flavorful when I'm cooking. So those are things you want to keep in mind. And so let's get into it, so fam. So you want to dice up your peppers and all your veggies, really. Onions, peppers. As you can see, I had these from a last dish I made, so I just store them in a little Tupperware bowl. I also had this sauce, so I use tomato basil, but feel free, so fam, to use whatever tomato sauce you like because we're gonna season it anyway. If you're like me, I definitely season my sauce. I never just use the sauce without seasoning it. So just disclaimer, season the sauce. I did start using this tomato basil recently because it's actually a new flavor, and it's like a sweet basil, so it's kind of strong. I don't think I would use it as a full dish, but to add it in the way we're going to use it today, you're going to see the flavor is going to come together so well. And so I'm using green and yellow peppers and a little bit of onion. No particular reason for these peppers. I just don't like really spicy peppers. I like my dishes to have kind of a sweet undertone taste and a flavory, like a light, fluffy, I want to say leafy flavor, but not really leafy because, but you get what I'm saying. Just very fresh. I don't like spice, if that makes sense. And I love this avocado oil, so fam. Any brand in particular, again, but avocado oil overall, I feel like whenever I'm using it, it brings so much flavor to the food. How certain grease just give you a greasy flavor? This avocado oil has a really, I don't even know the taste of it, but I love it when I'm cooking with it because you can tell it brings the flavor in the food and not on top of the food. Okay, so for my foodies, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to stir fry these, open up these veggies a little bit. I always stir fry my veggies a little bit before I just throw the meat in there. And I thought I recorded the part where I threw the meat in there, so fam, and I didn't. But I did get the part where I was seasoning, and that was the most important part. Okay, so we're going to throw some garlic butter into your veggies, just a dash, just so the flavors could be in the veggies. You get what I'm saying? If when you tasted some fried veggies, but they don't have no seasoning on them, you want to season them up with a little garlic butter. Not salt, because you're already going to be putting salt everywhere. So there's a difference. You don't want to have a high salt taste. And we're going to put the salt in the asparagus. All right. So asparagus, so fam. Asparagus is, you got to eat these on I'm going to be in my own cut basis because it does give your toxins a strong scent. So sweating and, using the restroom, you're going to have a strong odor from this because it really detoxes you. Okay, so whenever I'm trying to look really snatched, I'm going to tell you the secret, so fam, asparagus. And I make it very light. Some people could put it in the oven, which you can do. I just put it on the stovetop on really low because I want all of the nutrients to stay in the veggies. I really don't want it exposed, and I want them to really be, what I'm saying, saturated in its own juices. Okay, so this asparagus over really is the ending of your detox. So you've been doing your smoothies, you've been eating light and chill and not depriving yourself of the things you love. Because what's the point in trying to shift over to a new diet if you're going to just take out everything you love? You're going to be miserable. Okay, not really miserable, but you're gonna miss them, and it's gonna make you want to like really crave them. Where if you give yourself a little bit at a time, then you're able to really kind of have a balanced diet. Okay, so I'm gonna let these asparagus sit. I'm not gonna cook them until I put this dish in the oven. So right now the asparagus is sitting to the side with a lid, in the garlic butter, a little bit of salt, a little bit of avocado oil, and it's just sitting there. So I just put it to the side as I season the meat. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the meat. Now I told you I didn't get myself putting the meat in there, but I literally just, chopped up the beef and I put it on top of the onions and I let it kind of marinate for a minute as I was dealing with the asparagus. So now, fam, you want to start to put your sauce once your meat is fully cooked. Okay, I like my ground beef ground. I like it really cooked. Like I feel like this is really the key to a great Italian dish overall. Well, it's Italian because we're using sauce, but it's not really Italian. It's Amelian because I just made this up. Okay, so you want to put your sauce in there after your meat is really ground. Your onions and peppers are shrunk up really small, like you can't even see them, but they're there. And that's why the meat really kind of sucked up all of the nutrients from the veggies. Okay, and then you want to put in your tomato sauce. Now you don't want it to be saucy like spaghetti. Okay, so you can see I put in a little, I season a little, I put in a little. You want the beef to just be moisturized. Okay, so fam, this is not spaghetti. So that's why you don't need a whole jar of spaghetti sauce. You just need a little bit of it, or you can use the little small cans of like tomato sauce. That'll do the same thing. You just want your meat to have like a really soft, moist texture to them and flavor. And you will see as I put the sauce, I just put a little sazon. Sazon is high in salt, so fam. So you want to balance out, making sure you use a little bit of Himalaya salt because that salt is very strong. You do not want to have a salty dish, okay? But the sazon does have its own flavor as well. So you want to add a dash of that. That's going to bring you more to that Hispanic. My mom, growing up, we did eat a lot more Hispanic dishes, okay? Just a FYI. So I definitely use this in a lot of my dishes. It is a Hispanic seasoning, yes, but it's more Americanized because obviously I'm Americanized. Anywho, so you want to add that sazon in there and let that sit for a minute. Okay, let that cook and come together, and as you do that, we're gonna move on over to our pan. Okay, we're gonna oil that pan. So fam, you don't want no crusty bacon. Okay, oil up that pan, Bookie, so that dish come right off. Okay, you're gonna oil that up, get the edges, get the sides, and you see I use that same avocado oil. The importance of using this avocado oil, so fam, it's not greasy. Okay, and you want to be lightening up on the grease. Again, if you're gonna have something that's like, oh, I shouldn't be eating these, then you gotta lighten up on the salt, lighten up on the grease. You gotta balance it out. So we're gonna open up these croissants. They're already pre-cut. You can use whichever dough you like. You're gonna see why I like this one, because you're able to really wrap it around like this dish. So fam, this might have to go down in the books. All right. So you want to spread them out where the bottom isn't separated, because you don't want it to seep through. You want to be able to wrap the croissant layers around the beef that we're going to put in the middle. Okay, so you're going to see. You want to lay it out nice. Let it sit for a second. While you do that, grate you some. This is the top mozzarella cheese. Okay, now the reason why I like to shred it is because, one, you get less of the preservatives that they put in there, so it's a lot healthier, and honestly it's a lot tastier. Like, you can eat a piece of this and it doesn't feel like super thick, you know what I'm saying? So this is a very light mozzarella cheese, and we're going to use a little bit of this with a little bit of ricotta. You saw I put that in there real quick. So set your cheeses to the side, and now we're going to put it together. So fam, and no, we're not going to put the asparagus in this. Be patient. All right, so once your meat is ready, you see that glide that beef in there. Not a lot of grease. I didn't drain this. This is the beef cooked. It's not greasy. It's 93% lean. Okay, so you want to really, which means lean is like a little bit more drier. So that's why the tomato sauce really helps us bring that flavor back to the beef. without it being so greasy, you know, and heavy on your stomach. Like when you eat this, so fam, you gonna be dancing in the seat. I'm dancing as I'm looking. I'm like, Now, if you're not trying to be healthy, load this sucker up with cheese. Okay? Load it up with cheese. But if you like me and you try to really just get a little bit to keep me from falling far back, you want to just put a little bit of this ricotta cheese in there. Get the flavor in there just enough, just so you can have it. You don't need to overdo it or anything like that. Just put a little bit, babe. And this is how you slowly just really start to live into a balanced diet. Because if you see me, you would think that I just don't eat nothing. I eat everything in small, tiny increments. Same. So you see, it's a lot of beef on here. Okay, this was the whole pack. But you see how lightly I'm putting the cheese on there? I'm not loading it up like a slice of pizza. I'm just layering it just so it can have a little bit around. And that way, when you eat this dish, so fam, that guilt don't come in. That, I'm going to be feeling fat. And I don't like to use that word. But, it helps you feel more confident about your food choices in your day, and your mind. It all comes together. All right, so fam. So once you make that all pretty, you want to just wrap these ends around. All right, it's no particular direction. It sticks really easy. You just want to wrap the croissant layers over. And these are very stretchy. That's why I like the croissant, because it's like a really stretchy dough, and it's light and layered and flaky. So it does what we need it to do. We don't want it to be like a heavy piece of bread. Bread is heavy. Croissants are fluffy, light. So you are what you eat. Okay, so be mindful. If you want to be slim down the biscuits. Go to croissants. Okay, boop, boop. And then you want to just fluff this cheese right on top. Just a little bit. Just one little, you know what I'm saying? So fam, I didn't even grate that whole block of cheese. I think I grated a little piece of it, like so. And I'm not going to eat this whole dish by myself. We're going to break it up. Well, I am going to eat it by myself, but I'm not going to eat it all at once. All right. And then while that's in the oven, put your asparagus on low. And so fam, let me show you this. I think it sat in there for like 15 minutes. 20 to really get it the crisp layers. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Listen. Now imagine if you really went in with over sauce and over cheesing. This thing would probably be like the most cheesiest thing ever. Even so, the flavors in this with the asparagus has like a really light, not so salted flavor. So balanced out, you're gonna enjoy this meal. You're gonna really enjoy. You see me, I think I'm dancing while I make my plate. Cause girl, I was like, Bookie, where do I even cut it? Where do I even begin? So fam, let me tell you, this right here, boop boop. You have a little party coming over. You cut this up, boop boop. You can call it It reminds me like a pizza thing that they made in the dough, but it has a different flavor because the croissant has like a sweet kind of flavor to it, and I love it, And so fam, this video is doing us no justice. The smell, the balance, it's not so thick, it's not so full, you're fulfilled. Try this out, so fam. Let me know what you do differently, which veggies you use, or which meat you put in this, because this right here is an epic meal. Look when you open this up. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh. So fam, you're amazing. Keep eating great so you could be living great, feeling great. Great things are happening for you. I always appreciate you for tuning in. And I'm going to see you at the next one. Amelia, bye for now.